Welcome to the third conference on the application of Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. We will start with a clip about the second conference held this past summer in Hebron. Ladies and gentlemen, please, lights please. The film is on the screens at the side. And now we'll hear from the Minister of Public Diplomacy and the Diaspora, Yuli Edelstein. Good evening, welcome. We are gathering here in Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the Jewish people, for the third conference on the application of sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. The first two conferences were held in Hebron, the first area that was purchased for the land of Israel, and from there we moved to sovereign Jerusalem. Since the victory in the Six-Day War, there has been a political vacuum in Judea and Samaria, and that sends a message of uncertainty regarding our right to the land of Israel, and it awakens hopes among the Arabs. It ignites intifadas and invites pressure on Israel to make concessions and cause the world to view Judea and Samaria as occupied territories. And since the redemption of Gush Etzion, we see in Gush Etzion the preference of the civil administration for the Arab version of events again and again. And this is the result of that same vacuum and the view that Judea and Samaria are occupied Syria. The legal purchase of homes in Hebron, Bet HaShalom and Bet HaChabachala must be implemented, and the injustice cries out to the heavens. Next week there will be a march from Kiryat Arba to Bet HaShalom and Bet HaMachpelah to protest this injustice. If Hebron, Shechem, Bet El, Gush Etzion are not the land of Israel, then what is the land of Israel? Political damage is also caused by our Prime Minister. This was done in the Bar Ilan speech when he declared 2 states for 2 peoples. Despite this, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Number 1, settlement. Since 1967, since the liberation of the heartland of our country, we have come a long way and done a great deal. And today, thank God, we have 400,000 Jews living in Judea and Samaria in 250 flourishing communities, and there's more to go. The next light we see is that the people don't want concessions. The understanding that the concessions in the south brought upon us the Hamas in the south, the Grads, the Katyushas. This has reshuffled the deck. The people are not willing to make concessions and are not willing to see 2 states. More and more voices are calling for the application of sovereignty among the public and among our political leadership, as our speakers this evening will show, and I'm sure the minister will speak about that. And a further proof that this is being assimilated in the public is this conference, with the participation of Knesset members, ministers, public figures, and all the people here in this audience. They share this vision and this message. 3, another light at the end of the tunnel is the report of the Edmund Levy Commission, which marched us further ahead when it stated that Judea and Samaria are not occupied territories and that the status of the settlements and outposts there is legal. And we will hear more about Attorney Alan Baker, who was a member of that committee. And now, how do we move from here further ahead to the act of applying sovereignty? That is what most of the speakers will be speaking about today. And they will also be speaking about the status of the Arabs on the day after the application of sovereignty, and the members of our panel will be discussing that. You will hear different models. We, personally, Nadia and I, we prefer the model of Geula Cohen, thanks to whom there is sovereignty over Jerusalem and the Golan Heights. There were difficulties then, if you recall, and most of the people in this audience remember that. Embassies left Jerusalem, the world was in an uproar, but the law was passed. And that will be the situation today too. That is what Geula Cohen said already in 1996 when she tried to pass a law to apply sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. They are confusing the public with demographic figures. If Herzl and the others were looking only at numbers, if the pioneers looked at the numbers, we wouldn't be here today. There are numbers, but there are also letters. There is a spirit, there is faith, there is vision. And listen carefully. If we invest only 1,000th of the thought how to contend with 1.5 million Arabs, and how to increase settlement by 1.5 million Jews, and Aliyah by millions, we would resolve not only the demographic problem, but the geographic problem too. Therefore, we must stop stuttering. The government must immediately apply sovereignty, increase settlement and Aliyah, and state clearly that the land of Israel belongs to the people of Israel. And that must be the way. That is our strength. That is where our faith lies, in the justice of our cause. And before I call upon the speakers, we would like to thank those who have made this conference possible. First and foremost, we would like to thank Sabina Citron from Just Peace for Israel, who is here with us this evening as a friend and partner. Sabina is a gifted writer who wrote the book Indictment, which reviews the history of anti-Semitism and focuses on the connection between anti-Semitism and the relation to Israel and the failed peace plans. Sabina, you are a true fighter for the land of Israel. Thank you for your support and your partnership in the campaign to apply sovereignty over Judea and Samaria all along the way. And this is the place also to thank to each and every one of you, our partners in Israel and in the world. Your support enables us, Women in Green, to continue to work to redeem the land of Israel and to apply sovereignty. This evening you will be able to continue your support, and there are details on the postcard you received that is inside the program, and your envelopes will be received and welcomed. The conference is being broadcast on Arutz Sheva in English and in Hebrew. We have with us Rabbanit Shulamit Melamed, and with her the staff of Arutz Sheva. Thanks to them for helping give expression to the struggle for the land of Israel. We would like to thank all the participants and speakers, the steering committee, and Geula Cohen, Israel Prize laureate, Eran Bartal, Carolyn Glick, Daphne Netanyahu, Rabbi Itai Elitzur, and to the professors group for Nations Resilience. And thank you to Yigal Kutai, the chairman of the Chevron Heritage Association. Thank you to the photographers, to Shlomi and Eli, and all the other journalists and photographers. A special thanks to Renee and Yossi Margolis, who were responsible for so much here. Since we started preparing for the conference, There's no day and no night. The phones, the faxes, the emails, 24 hours a day. Thank you to them and their whole family. Thank you to those who organized the buses. We have people here from all over the country. And thank you to the organizers, Debbie Bookman, Ricky Ziegelman, Kathy Cohen, Yedidia Panini, Elisheva Ginsburg. Thank you to Ruchi and Shlomit and Simultani Ba'avir for the interpretation. Thank you to the Jewish press and to Galei Israel for their support and for the broadcasts. And thank you to Rashid Kimchi. And thank you to Tzvi Yechezkel Katzover and Tzvi Katzover and David Matar, the husbands. Thank you to Elkanah Blumenthal. And if we've forgotten anyone, we already apologize. I hope we haven't forgotten anyone. And thank you to Nadia and Yudit, of course, somebody says in the audience. We apologize. Geula Khan just called that she is unable to come, and we, of course, regret that. We are honored to call upon the Honorable Minister Yuli Edelstein, the Minister of Public Diplomacy and Diaspora Affairs, who will speak about the international consequences of the application of sovereignty and how to deal with them. Minister Edelstein.